opening moments of the game suddenly find themselves ahead. Traore's initial ball forward. And Stevens looking to hook the ball back in field. But Bravo was alert to the possibility. And he drove right at the heart of the Southampton back four. And although Daniel Perez got something on the shot, there was enough pace to carry it over the line, despite the attentions of Cameron Bragg. A first Watford goal for Iker Bravo. And Southampton, one of the pre-season favourites, beginning on -4 points, are a goal down already. And an unwanted assist for the Southampton captain Jack Stevens. Now Scienza's been caught again here. And the Southampton fans not happy at the way that Scienza is being played by Watford in the opening stages. And it's Matty Pollock who is being called across to the referee. Yellow card for him as well. So Cipriano and Pollock both in the book for challenges on Leo Scienza. Pollock lunging in. I think he was going for the ball, but he certainly went over that and painfully caught Scienza on the ankle. Jack Stevens having words, and Carl Larin also receiving a yellow card, presumably for his dissent. Well, he's waving the imaginary yellow card, so that's always going to be a booking. And he should know that. Played in the World Cup after all. But there were two bad challenges on Scienza. No doubt about that. And Ryan Manning will take this free kick for Southampton. Guided away as far as Dobbin. Unable to turn, and safety first from Pollock. Manning. Here is Doumbia, who I think has only touched the ball once before that. And that was in the build-up to the goal. Well, Alessio Dionisi has seen his team generally outplayed in open play so far, but they've had the only shot, and that's resulted in the only goal. Aha, with Bellis going down as he left with Mamadou Doumbia. Well, it's a free kick for Southampton. Kuru Matsuki was also rather ruefully rubbing the back of his head. Mamadou Doumbia preferred to Luca Karamgor today, who started the EFL Cup victory over Crawley last week, a match in which Watford had over 30 attempts on goal, but Vito Manone, the cut that out. It was Matsuki who went down before that. Larin finding Matsuki, and Cipriano colliding with him, although it seemed to be a genuine attempt to win the ball, and the officials agree. Bragg. Now Nabazada. Bove losing out. Dobbin. That's a goal kick. Well, Watford certainly rising to the challenge here at the moment. Maybe a little too much at times. Hector Cipriano already booked, and that was certainly a full-blooded attempt to win the ball from Matsuki. But I think in the short term at least, Southampton may find atmospheres rather hostile away from home in the early weeks of the season, and that's been the case so far today. But Othman, my armour, has been fouled there, and it will be a free kick for Watford. And Matty Pollock, I think, making the point that one or two challenges have led to a yellow card. James Bree will receive one here. Well, my armour was beyond him, and Bree reaching across to block him off. And he was nowhere near the ball, and that's key, I think, in the decision to flourish a yellow card. We've had 3 in the opening 18 minutes here. Welcome back to the Championship. Lofts it harmlessly wide. Daniel Peretz made his low move from Bayern Munich, a permanent one during the summer. Only kept 3 clean sheets in 26 games last season. Southampton won a lot of games, but they also gave the opportunity for the opposition to score as well. Of course, they are 19 games unbeaten. Dobbin blocking that crossfield ball, but Hamama now fighting Nabizada. Crosses guided away, Bowler encouraged to shoot, and he does. Well, no wonder he's smiling. After scoring the goal he scored last week in the EFL Cup, he'll be letting fly from that sort of range all season, but this one was heading towards the corner flag. Southampton unbeaten in the Championship since a home defeat against Hull on the 17th of January, but a goal down here. Of course, they also got to Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final, then Manchester City, but lost after beating Arsenal in the quarter-finals, as Mayama is fouled there by Matsuki. Didn't get him first time around, but made absolutely sure with the second challenge. And Watford really gained confidence here. Following that goal, Bowler's free kick, flicked on by Cipriano. He tries to get the shot in, but he's crowded out. Downs tries to bring it clear, but Bove looking to find Caban. The central defender cleverly keeps the ball alive. And the shot towards the near post of Mayama turned onto the post, I think, by Peretz, and Watford have a corner. Well, Southampton unable to conclusively clear that free kick. And Caban did really well here to pick out Mayama. Literally a heads-up play. And Peretz stretching out that right boot to divert the ball behind. All sorts going on inside that 6-yard area, and cut it out is the message from Matthew Donoghue, the referee. is a lot going on here, and that's Mark Bowler, who is down. Maybe has a problem with his left hamstring. He looks to be in some trouble, and Watford already readying a change here. And it will be, I think, Jordan Zamora who will come on. If Bowler is unable to shake that off, indeed it will be. The Zimbabwean international on loan from Udinese. You may remember he was in the AFC Bournemouth team promoted 4 years ago. It doesn't look as though Bowler will be able to continue, and you can see the disappointment on his face. Well, he scored the winner last week, but he's barely got through a quarter of the game this week. And Jordan Zamora will come on. It's a straight swap at left back. And Bowler heading straight down the tunnel. Corner's work short to Zamora. His first touch is a deflected cross, and it will be another Watford corner. Well, Southampton here having to ride out the storm at the moment. And it's deep, fisted away by Peretz. Bove. Peretz coming through the crowd again. And then too deep and too long from Omar Traore. And that spell of Watford pressure comes to an end. Guado Bove, signed from Roma in January, scored his first goal against Wrexham, which was Watford's last league victory. That came on the 17th of March. They then ended the season with 2 draws and 6 defeats, including 5 losses in a row to conclude, as Dobbin loses out to Traore. Ed Still was the coach. He was then dismissed. Of course, his brother Will started the season at Southampton, but he did not last too long before being replaced by Ton de Rekke. Matsuki. Manning. Southampton had a very good start to the game, but we've had 6 shots in the game, 2 on target, all from Watford. Southampton heading back to the Championship with a bump. Mayama doing well to come back and cover. It's a tough start for Watford. They go to Wrexham next week before a home game with West Ham. Manning. That's given away to Doumbia. He will do well to win that in the air again, but he can't divert it infield to Bravo. And now Caban looking for his goalkeeper, and Larin is penalised. Of course, he was coming back from an offside position. Larin, one of 4 players booked in the opening 18 minutes. Doumbia gets there before Stevens. Harwood Bellis coming across. But here is Bravo. Doumbia now in the centre. Stevens able to block it. And I don't think Bravo was able to keep that in play initially. Mamadou Doumbia, the Mali international, only 20 years of age. Plenty of youth in this Watford team today. Mayama also 20. Nabazada 19. Squad after not coming off the bench against Crawley last week either. Manning with the throw-in. Larin scored plenty of his goals off the bench for Southampton last season, as he did for Canada at the World Cup. Matsuki. Bree coming back on side. Bragg. All given away by Manning. And here is Nabazada. Doumbia in the centre. Plenty of room here for Nabazada to go deep into the 6-yard area. And he scores! What a moment for Armin Nabazada. The Afghan international with his first goal for Watford. And Southampton are in all sorts of trouble here. Another defensive error. But Nabazada took that in quite breathtaking fashion. Manning giving the ball away, but Nabazada gathering inside his own half. And he drove forward, spotted the opportunity, and as the Southampton players converged on him, that's a really cool finish to slip it low beyond Perez. And Watford, who've had such an unsettling summer, with a dream start in the Championship. Southampton starting this game on -4 points, and the way things are going, they'll be staying there. But Nabazada on his full senior debut, with a goal they'll remember at Vicarage Road for some time. Well, Tom Dereka needs a big response from his team here. They look absolutely stunned. From the moment Watford scored the opening goal, Southampton have not played at all. They want more. Mayama. High towards Doumbia, Nabazada. Just stepped in from the far post. As a result, the ball's over his head. Southampton have not lost in the Championship since mid-January. 2 goals down here, and really, they'll look at both goals and consider them highly avoidable, but Alessio Dionisi really getting a tune out of his young team at the moment. Dionisi has had success in the Italian second tier, winning Serie B with Empoli during 2 spells in charge. It's also very well thought of in Serie A during his time with Sassuolo. Caban doing well to both halt Matsuki and keep the ball. It's Hondereke, who undoubtedly transformed Southampton. Whatever happened off the field. It's a team which has got very few changes from the successful formula last season, but at the moment, Watford are full of confidence. Traore with the cross, Doumbia challenging, headed away by Harwood Bellis. Zamora. Mayama. Blocked by Matsuki. Mamadou Doumbia has had little to work with at times, but he's causing a real threat. Mayama. Nabazada. Bobe. Zamora. And the ball, once again, it's overhit. Well, Imran Louza is here today, watching on. Watford's captain last season. But Alessio Dionisi didn't play him last week and has left him out this week. Nabazada. Cipriano. Bravo. He lets fly. Blocked by Stevens. Dobbin. Traore recovers. Before half-time would certainly give Southampton something to work with here. Manning. That's a good ball. Dobbin. Matsuki coming in field, but free. Able to keep this in play. Looks for Larin, fisted away by Ravaglia and Scienza. Well, he got that all wrong. And Zamora able to hammer the ball away. Well, Federico Ravaglia has had very little to do so far. Was rather flailing there. No challenge at all, but ball was possibly swinging away from him. Bove. Caban. Now Bravo. Watford free kick. Ravaglia in the team ahead of Daniel Bachmann and also Egil Selvik. Cipriano. It's a good ball. Caban. Bayama. Bravo. Zamora. Bravo. Beaten to it this time. Scienza. Stevens under pressure from Nabizada. Manning. That shot from Scienza, scuffed as it was, was Southampton's first on target. Watford have had 9 in the game so far. Scienza. Downs. Manning. Howard Bellis. Southampton more controlled possession in the recent moments. Of course, they lost Shea Charles during the transfer window, moving on to Fulham. They will miss his industry in midfield. Matsuki. He ran into Cipriano. Half a dozen signings in total for Southampton so far, including the 2 loans which have been converted into permanent moves. No question, it's a squad which is full of depth and quality. In the short term, they need to wipe out the deficit of -4 points. Perez. And Dombia with the challenge. Catching Harwood Bellis. Downs. Saints will play his former club Southampton in the second round of the EFL Cup after the win last week against Colchester, although they had to wait a long time and also dip into the bench to see off the challenge of the League Two side. Only 2 changes from that side here today. Downs. Manning. Scienza. A shot for Bragg, deflecting into the path of Matsuki, but Zamora able to read that. Suddenly, Watford have the look of a team who could maybe do with half-time. Harwood Bellis. Downs. Well read by Traore. Stevens. Manning. Southampton controlling possession now, but they've given the ball away, and Watford on the counter-attack have been very dangerous. Here is Doumbia. Bayama. Wasn't quite helped by the pace of the pass. Bove. He's fouled by Larry. the free kick, and that will just give them an opportunity to slow things down. Mayama. He was caught by Downs, but I think the free kick was given for the second challenge on Bove by Larin. Tonder Eckert has a big 15 minutes coming up. Mayama, Dumbia. Here is Dobbin. And it was Navazana who comes back to make the challenge. And he will be the 5th player in the first half to receive a yellow card. Well, he was coming in at full tilt. And again, there was no question that the referee made the right decision. Manning over the free kick. Southampton look for a foothold in the game just before half-time. Manning's delivery, and it's headed over the top by Stevens. Southampton's longer-serving player got right underneath that. Dumbia winning the ball in the air again, but it's difficult for Watford to get players closer to him. Manning with a 2-goal lead. Maybe they're minded to try and play for half-time here. Harwood Bellis. Larin's flick. Can't find Matsuki. Suddenly, here is Navizada. Bravo and Dumbia are ahead of him. Navizada maybe thought about the shot, and he thought about it too long. Allowed Downs to make the challenge. Southampton are giving the ball away again. Dumbia. Plenty of pace on the cross, but Mayama will stun that. Here is Mayama again, teasing Bree. Tries to win the corner and does. Well, Watford do have so many talented young players, and keeping hold of them may be the biggest job that Dionisi has between now and the end of the transfer window. There will be a minimum of 5 more minutes. We had the lengthy delay for Scienza's first injury. A delivery towards Pollock, and he heads it over the top. It was a chance. He appeals for the corner, but a goal kick is given. He got there before Harwood Bellis. May have had a case, although difficult one for the officials, and of course no VAR in the Championship. So often teams that have disappointment at the end of the previous campaign, there is a hangover at the start of the following campaign. And of course it was a very different sort of disappointment for Southampton compared to most teams. But they've been punished here for defensive errors by a Watford side brimming with enthusiasm. Those Southampton fans will be hoping for better in the second half. They've got a free kick here, which Bree will take in towards Harwood Bellis, and it's gathered well by Ravaglia. And he quickly finds Mayama. Zamora forward with him. Bravo makes the run towards the near post, but here is Mayama again. And that's good defending by Flynn Downs. And I'm sure that as one of the senior players, Flynn Downs will be having his say at half-time as well. Laren. Bove. Doing well to win that. And find Mayama. Watford have had a succession of talented white players in recent years. And Mayama is certainly in that category. And maybe Nabazada could soon be as well. Will take the throw in. 90 seconds of the 5 minutes to play. Southampton with 60% of the possession, but no shots on target. Maybe now. Dobbin. And it's blocked by Cipriano. Manning. Downs. Holding off Bravo. Looking to find Manning, but that was always going to be Traore's. Manning. Scienza. Downs. Now Stevens. Southampton continue to be frustrated here. Manning. Oh, here's Scienza. It drops to Laren. Matsuki. And the pinball ends with Bravo bringing the ball clear here for Watford. Mayama. Mayama may have a go himself. It's blocked by Harwood Bellis. Zamora. In towards Bravo, who turns, and it's deflected, and eventually Peretz will clear. That is half-time, and what a first half we have had. Alessio Dionisi's Watford leading by 2 goals to nil, both goals from defensive errors, but finished superbly by first Ika Bravo, and then Amin Nabizada, 2 young players, both scoring their first goals for Watford, and Southampton have had no answer so far